Well, it is Tuesday. It is September 12th, 2023. So you guys know what we got to do tonight, right? We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to have a very different kind of live feed than we've ever had before. I'm going to get to you guys over there in the roll call here in just a second, but, we got to do this thing right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, TCT BNL, that's this marvelous motherfucker right here, is proud to bring to you our soon-to-be world-famous No Lag Zone. And well, tonight, we're going to talk about today. We really, truly are. We're going to talk about something that happened 22 years ago today that's never happened since. And I feel we've lost that, and we're going to talk about it. I think it's kind of important. First off, if you're brand new to the channel and this is your first time watching this live, I am broadcasting this across all of my platforms. So all you guys over on Across the Tabletop, welcome on in, have a little bit of fun. That channel is kind of like my safe haven, my fortress of solitude, and a way for me to get my geek on. For those of you watching this later on, thank you. Make sure to tag yourself with the replay squad or watching on break. You guys know who you are. You know how much I love you all. Let's hit the roll so we can get to the fun, because once I say what I got to say, we done. All right, Metal, how you doing, Steven? Hope you're doing good, brother. King Ginger, what's going on, bro? I saw that in the green room, and I started laughing, thinking to myself, that movie is like the greatest pun-filled movie. It's like, I'm not a witch, I'm your wife. Or just the whole Andre the Giant things. It's one of the greatest movies ever, Corey 6. Greatest movies ever. All right, Chris. What's your magic number? 4? You guys better clinch a playoff spot. That's all I'm going to say. Or you're going to have one historic collapse. Boston ain't done shit the last couple of years, so I'm hoping you guys can make the playoffs and give you guys a much-needed turnaround. All right? Big Stu, what's up, you big sexy son bitch, you? How you doing, my brother? Okay, now, I know I said I was getting back to content creation full-time. I chose not to release a video on September 11th for some big reasons. Number one, I wanted that day to be about the 22-year anniversary. I didn't want to distract from anything from like the three of you who watch my channel, I wanted you guys to do whatever you had to do on that day. No, that's not where I'm wearing the 22. You guys know I am a huge advocate of reducing this number to 0. If we can bring it down just by 1, that would be, miraculous. Absolutely miraculous. See, I'm not too far out of touch, my brother. You guys better take this thing home. I'm serious. So that's why I didn't release a video yesterday, okay? For everybody who did a live feed and talked about it, for everyone who released videos and content creation, good on you. Seriously, good on you. Thank you for bringing joy and happiness into the world. We need a lot more of that, don't we? Lady L, what's up, my friend? So, I do have videos for the next 2 weeks already uploaded, all right? I'm not going to play. There's going to be a full week of science with the kids. You might enjoy it. They had a lot of fun this morning. And, Steve Fleming, when you're watching this, bro, all I'm going to say is thank you for the sandwich tip. Just thank you. Okay. So yesterday, 22 years ago, we got rocked. There's no easy way to say it. We got rocked, right? We seriously, absolutely got rocked. I don't fall into the absolute conspiracy thing, so please don't try to bring that in. Don't ask me about it, because I'm just not going to respond to it, okay? There's so many questions I have about that day still to this point, but I know we got rocked. And we got hit hard, we got hit deep, and we got hit like you wouldn't even believe. Speaking of getting rocked, Greeter, how you doing, Mikey? Man, my brother, it is good to see you. Fall cleaning, good again. There you go. There you go. Okay. So today, the day after, something happened in this country that I've never seen. I say yes. Piece of meat between 2 pieces of bread, the bun. I say yes. Today was the day after. And this is what I'm talking about. You saw people from all walks of life. There was no homophobia. There was no bullshit. There was no any of that crap out there. It was people bonding together, grieving together, and coming together. I mean, my God, even what was it, Pace Picante Sauce changed their very famous commercial of New York City. You had people from all across America coming together in support of New York City. And outside of Los Angeles, New York City is like one of the most hated towns in the United States, whether it be sports, whether it be, stars living there and acting stupid, crime rates, anything, we all came together. And that's what tonight's about, Chris. I know this is going to be very, very unpopular for people, and I don't care because we've always talked about the hard shit on this channel. I was talking about mental health before anybody else was. But we came together. We bonded. There was no racial hatred. There was no sexual bullshit. It was, we are Americans. People going into downtown New York to help clean up Ground Zero. The stories of heroism that came out of there. The firefighters, the cops, the EMTs, the normal people, the security guards, everybody who did what they could to try to help save lives. But it's gone. It's all gone. I don't even think when we got UBL, Osama bin Laden, that there was that kind of coming together as America. You had people cheering and you had dancing and crowds erupted because that was the guy who perpetrated 9/11. But where'd it go? Everybody said, we're not going to forget. And they forgot. It's hard to describe this to the monkey. Okay. I think he's turning 15 this year. God. He wasn't alive when it happened. This is stuff he's learning about through Washington State Department of Education, which just scares me, period. All right. My girls have no concept. I mean, Amber, I think, was about to cry the other morning at the breakfast table watching the news highlights because she thought it was actually happening. She was really worried we were going to war. And it's like, no, honey, this happened a very, very long, long time ago. Greeter, brother, I told you you were missed and loved in here, brother. Told you. Glad to see you in here. Seriously, I am. And I'm glad I got to talk to you earlier today, bro. It's hard to describe, I mean, because of 9/11, I tried to re-enlist. And yeah. Yeah, to me, there is no comparison. There really isn't. And having politicians grandstand, like having POTUS get up and go, I was there on Ground Zero day, the next day, and it was looking into the gates of hell. When there's video of you in the rotunda giving a speech about bullshit and you talking about how you were in a bunker. I hate when politicians lie just to make a point. Like I was talking with Greeter the other day, today. I hate when politicians use vets as tokens, What up, G. Lou? How you doing, my brother? Hope everything is well in your world, man. See? Gary agrees with me. A hot dog is a sandwich. Piece of meat between two pieces of bread. Sandwich, period. We need to get back to that. We need to end, and I've been saying this for a while, we need to end tribal politics. We really do. We need to get back to remembering who the fuck we are, Yeah, I remember the night before. See, this is what kills me. I had to explain this to the monkey. I hate 9/10. I hate it with a passion because thousands of people went to sleep that night not knowing how badly their lives were about to be affected. Just how everything tragically changed. I was in a strip club on 9/10, drinking till about 2 something in the morning. Came home, passed out in my bed. My roommate at the time, Tiny, And we call him that because he's a big, huge mountain of a dude who drove tow trucks for a living. Woke me up. He was like, "Hey, dude, you need to get up. I think we're under attack." And I'm like, "You better not be fucking around," you know. And I don't think I left the TV for like a week. So you've got 9/10 where everything was peaceful, 9/11 which destroyed everything, and 9/12 where everybody came together. In that 72-hour time frame, America changed like that. We had what, a 20-year war on terror? And even then, the significance of 9/11, look at Benghazi. And that one hits me hard. It really, really does, you know? Personally, I think so. The shell covering, the crust, whatever, and all the bread and cheese and everything inside, I think so. Was reflecting, everyone was exactly. And I mean, I say what you want to about Bush, okay? Say what you want to about Bush. It was a powerful statement when he stood there and went, "We don't know who did this, but they will hear from us soon." But what do we have now? We have everybody who's so concerned about pronouns and gender and sexual this and sexual that. And, oh, you can't prosecute this crime. We've lost our way as a nation, I think. And I know this is not going to be popular, but it is what it is. I personally don't care what color you are, who you're into. I don't care your kinks or anything else. All I care is, are you a good person? I know I'm a fucking dickhead, and I know I've screwed up more than I've ever gotten right in my life. But I've had incredible people stand by me. I've had incredible people try to talk sense into my head when I didn't want to fucking hear it. I thanked them privately. I've thanked them publicly, and I will stand by that, I just... Today's a day where everything massively changed, and I wonder where we just lost it. I remember the news stations in Portland, Oregon telling people, "Hey, at this point tonight, light up candles." I remember stores stocking American flags and red, white, and blue candles. Granted, they were the generic, like, quarter kind from the dollar store, but still, they were there, I can remember people just, you acted a little different after that day. And now, you got to keep your head on a swivel, especially in the Pacific Northwest where they're not prosecuting anything. Portland, Oregon, oh God, where was it? For Andy Ngo's trial, and he's a journalist who got attacked by Antifa and was beat down severely hard, where they mixed concrete into milkshakes and were throwing it at him. The defense attorney wore an "I Am Antifa" t-shirt and told the jury, "I know who you are and I will remember you." So, yeah, okay. I don't know. Dear God. I look around at all the dumb shit going on, which is why I'll be honest, on the weekends I really unplug from social media. Or if it's a long holiday, and gee, that's why I wasn't in your live last week. I was ignoring you or any of that crap. I spend more time with my family. It's really weird how, after years of calling my kids monsters and, oh my God, I don't want to be around them, I got to get away from them, that kind of thing, how I'm really enjoying time with them right now. Or having across the tabletop to sit down and work on miniatures. It's great to have that. Bushling, yeah. Oh God, 14. Shut up, Chris. You're making me feel old, you bastard. I agree, but it's Portland, so yeah. That's the only way I can put it, is it's Portland. Portland was an interesting city to live in for a very long time. Then the idiots took over, and now businesses are pulling out left and right. And I look at it and I go, what the hell? I'm talking to people who live down there in little backwards areas in the rural outskirts of Portland, and they're making their own little gated communities because of all the problems. But I mean, it's weird how the military had a surge in recruitment, you know, after 9/11, but now they can't get people. What was it? The Marine Corps was down 25% in its recruiting. Law enforcement had a surge in recruiting. Fire department had a surge in recruiting. EMTs had a surge. Now they can't fill positions because nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. So I don't know how we can get back to a different way of looking at things, but we need to, because I feel we're losing our own identity, and it sucks. I mean, I remember this great line. Oh dear God, I think it was out of the West Wing. A Roman citizen could go anywhere in the known world way back when and know they were free and know they were safe, because all they had to do was basically say, hey, I'm a Roman citizen, and they'll be left alone. If they got killed, the legions marched and crushed whoever did it. That's who we used to be. Now I'm seeing we're giving $6 billion to the $6 billion to the Iranians. Oh, but I'm sorry. They're only going to use it for health and medical aid. Okay. The world's leader of state-sponsored terrorism. Okay. What is it? Kim Jong-un just took a train trip to go meet Putin. I wonder why he went by train, but that's just me. All right. Like I said, this day was very, very important to me because we pivoted. We pivoted from fear. We pivoted from everything else. And it's like we found our identity again, and we found our purpose, and it's gone. No, but what's really funny, everybody knows the history of my camera. Okay, how it just shuts down during filming a video. For some reason, it'll just turn itself off. The first time it ever did it was filming my book review on Hillary Clinton's What Happened book about her whole campaign and how she blamed everybody but herself and had I met this famous person on this day, and here's a great quote by a female this day, and this is why people hate me on every fucking page. But that was the first time that ever happened, Ugh. I don't know. How do you guys feel about today, I mean, it was surreal watching some live feeds yesterday with how somber they sounded, and how off everybody sounded. How do you guys feel about 9/12? Let me know in the comments, because I am kind of curious. I remember what was like most of Helen Keller's memorabilia, most of Helen Keller's great works were in one of the trade centers, and now they're gone. I remember a former Portland Winterhawks goalie, Jason LaBarber, when he was signing his contract with the Rangers, stayed pretty close to the trade centers. So it was weird talking to him. What we got here? Trains in North. No, I get trains in Korea are tradition. I was stationed over there for a year, so yeah. Jesus. Man lives well. Oh, God. And to have that mouthpiece, John Kirby, get up there and say nothing was left behind when he was fucking bold-faced lying. Yeah. The one biggest thing I'm always going to remember about that day, Howard Stern broadcasted a couple blocks from trade centers. And I remember listening to his radio show because I was kind of curious if he was going to be on the air. They pulled him. And Howard Stern really isn't a paragon of virtue, okay? This is the guy who's talking about midget strippers and, everything else and all this weird shit. I don't know how he turned into such a bitch over COVID, because I'm hearing his wife is telling him to man up. But he took a call. And that caller stated, we need to pull them out of their cabs. We need to burn their homes to the ground. We need to do all kinds of things to them to show them how it feels. And Howard instantly went, no, 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 that's what they want. Don't do that. Don't ever do that. And it's weird hearing Howard Stern preaching peace. Howard Stern, of all people. You know, if you listen to him in the 80s and the 90s, you listen to him because you loved him, or you listen to him because you hated him and wanted to hear what BS he was going to say. So, yeah. See, I know that Spokane Valley, when I lived there for a little while, their fire station has a beam. I didn't know that you had some out there. The one thing that I love is the original book was called The Horse Soldiers, and I think it was called 12 Strong after the one they had. Yeah, it was Thor in as the commander of the special forces team that inserted and they broke the back of the Taliban. They carried a piece of the World Trade Center with them. So I think that was just wow. That's really, I can see that with you, Ellie. I can see that. And from what I understand, Chris, if I remember correctly, I think they took a bunch of steel from the trade centers and built a hospital ship out of it. I can't remember if that. I know they built something out of a bunch of the steel. I really want to get back and see the what they did, the memory pools or whatever. I think with all the names around. I really want to see that. That's one of those things I seriously want to see. Yeah, I keep seeing those pictures scrolling across Twitter of the guy who took a header off the World Trade. Yeah. I agree with you, Big Stu. I just can't let certain things of that day go. I can't. I agree, but it is North Korea. They're basically bankrupt except for his whore account and his alcohol account. I mean, look at that country. They are so poor everywhere. Everything they have is right there on the DMZ. So, yeah. Which, if I remember correctly, is the only place in the world where landmines are very actively deployed because it's still a current war zone. We only have a peace. There was never a ceasefire, I think. There's never been an official peace, if I remember that correctly. Which also makes me giggle that the show MASH went, what, twice as long as the Korean War? So, yeah. No, they're not that hard. I mean, a couple satchel charges in the right area or playing with the grid. It's just me. Just me spitballing things out there, you know? But okay, now that I've got all that out, we're going to get to a little bit of fun. I know. What a pivot, right? Basically, for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have a lot of fun on my channel. All right? If you don't like it, don't watch. That's the easiest way I can put it. I don't fucking care. My kids are center stage for some of these videos, and they're very happy. Got my first ever video game review coming up. It's more like talking about it. But if you know my camera and you know things that happen, it like broke into 3 parts and it's really weird. Yeah. Oh, Baltimore. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff. I mean, I get, and I also remember them asking Tom Clancy about how he felt about writing the book that put Jack Ryan in as the president, about them crashing the plane in the Congress. Like, how do you feel about doing that? Do you feel you gave them the idea? Give me a break. Yeah, it's gonna be 2 weeks of fun. Gee, next week you might want to pay attention. I'm gonna give you a little spoiler. We got snacks from around the world. Oh yeah. You ever had Canadian potato chips? You ever had honeycomb dipped in chocolate from Great Britain? Just saying. Just saying. We got some cool stuff coming up. Like I said, video game review coming up this week. Got a beard product review coming up this week. Well, week 2-ish of a beard product review. I'm waiting on another company to do some restocking, but still. Well, I'm glad you said that, Big Stu, because we got some interesting things coming up. We got British candy. We've got some stuff from Ireland. I just got another bag of weird chips in from Canada today. Canadian Doritos. I'm actually looking at some weird Canadian soda too, made with real maple syrup for some reason. I don't know. Figure it might be something interesting to try. But yeah, we're having some fun. Like I said, I think it's time to have fun again, you know? Not worrying about for the algorithm. Just do fun shit because people will find it. I was so worried about that goddamn algorithm, I let it control everything, you know? I started worrying about, oh my God, this didn't have this didn't have that, instead of having fun with you guys. And that's what this channel's always been about, is having some fun. You know, I'm not going to use that N word that Big Head uses, but still. I have slowed back in certain areas because I know they're just not working. Yeah. God, how can I put this? I used to be a big Stephen King fan until I made the mistake of following him on Twitter. So I blocked him and got rid of him. You want to see some weird shit, go follow his Twitter account. That's all I can say. But yeah, guys, so there it is. Like I said, I was going to keep tonight kind of short because I figured I might get lit up talking about 9/12 and how I feel about it and how I feel like we found our identity as a nation after we got hit hard. Kind of like right after Pearl Harbor, we were pissed and then went to war. 9/11, we had 9/12 where we recouped, and 9/13 we started moving down a path. I wish we could get back to finding a way forward as opposed to, you know, extreme whatever, insert your Democratic or Republican Party here. I'm so sick of that shit. Like I joked around on the commission the other night. If I disagree with you, obviously I'm a Nazi, right? Whoop, that probably just got me demonetized. Don't fucking care. You know, that's how stupid shit has become. And yeah, I do blame tribal politics and misinformed assholes. But still, we're going to kind of cut it there, guys. Like I said, I just wanted to talk about 9/12, so I want to thank all of you. Thank all of you for coming in tonight. Like I said, you got a little sneak preview what's coming up. The kids love it how I go, hey, let's do science. Instantly their faces light up and have some fun. So it's time to have fun. Remember that going forward. Remember how you felt today if you were alive back then. All right? Seriously. Remember how you felt. I know how I felt today. I still remember that feeling 22 years later. I really, really do. I hope we can carry it forward. I hope we can find a new identity. And I hope in each of your lives, moving forward after the show and going into tomorrow, going into the weekend, going into everything, you choose to hate less and focus more on making yourself happy. I'm not talking about being positive like Barney the motherfucking dinosaur, because I'm sorry, I cannot walk around all day long going, I love you, you love me. No. I was always hoping when Barney was doing that dumb shit that someone would run on the stage with a can of gas and go, burn, motherfucker. But, you know, that's just me. Like I said, I was trying to re-enlist, but that's when they found a heart issue I didn't know I had, so medically done. I couldn't get back in. Like I said, like I do in all my videos, guys. Well, before that, we should have a commission this week. The Longhouse is on Friday. Go check out my brother Beard of the North. If you want a really weird time, go on in there and have some fun with them and screw them. I know Mondays there's like a plethora of shows. The top three I know off the top of my head. You got, Command's Corner. You've got whatever the fuck Ken Conson's calling this thing nowadays. And you've got Unapologetically G-Lou. So you've got a lot of enjoyment that you have out there for free. Go spread love. Doesn't cost you anything. Really doesn't. But on that note, I want to thank you all for coming in tonight. I hope you guys are having a great one, a safe one, and I really hope to see all of you in our very next video.